Nice. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to leave this in. It stopped it.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So about 2 years ago, I uploaded a video titled How to Make Bulletproof Glass at Home. This method was effective at stopping multiple shots from a .357 Magnum, which placed it right around a level 2 to 2A, depending on what rating system you're using. Now you could always just make it thicker, add more layers of both polycarbonate and glass. However, this has some diminishing returns in the optical clarity, being able to actually see through it, and actual stopping power. So I started doing research on what various companies use in order to create their bullet-resistant glass. And the one that I became the most interested in used acrylic and polycarbonate instead of glass. So it cut glass out of the equation entirely. The reason why I'm the most interested in this one is because both acrylic and polycarbonate are thermal formable, meaning we can do complex shapes with these rather than just be limited to the flat planes. And because I'm currently trying to develop my own helmet, I want to know that I can have a more dynamic face mask rather than be limited to just very flat, right? So I challenged myself to create some bullet resistant glass using this method that could handle multiple shots from a more powerful firearm while maintaining under a 2-inch profile. So I tested various binding agents, doing drop tests on those and optical clarity tests on those. And I also tested various thicknesses of both the polycarbonate and acrylic. Once I had those preliminary tests done, I took that information and compiled it in order to create 4 new plates, and went out and shot those. So first up, we will show you the 4 plates that were made up before they were shot. Then of course we'll go into the shooting footage, and then we'll talk about how I actually made these and the best method for that. Then at the end we'll talk about how you could create better stuff, because I know you guys are going to want me to stop even more powerful firearms with this method. So at the very end we'll talk about that. If you're new to this channel, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started, guys. Alright, so here's the 4 test plates. Alright, I want to briefly go over them before we go out. I added just some simple wooden trim with some silicone and staples just to kind of hold them together and make it easier to anchor them to the backstop that we're going to be testing them at today. Alright, so let's go over these real quick. This one came out 1.7 inches thick. It used 1 piece of 1-inch thick acrylic in the center, sandwiched by 2 3/8 of an inch thick polycarbonate. That's what the manufacturer said. Of course, you're going to have some inconsistency with different companies. This is supposed to be a 1/4 inch thick and 1/4 inch thick piece of acrylic. This comes out to about 0.22 inches thick, and this comes out to about 0.26 inches thick. So there's going to always be a little bit of an inconsistency with the thickness. But this one turned out really well. There was clamping issues. See if I can get it to focus. You can see on the edge there, and I believe, yeah, down here on that edge, from putting too much clamping pressure, and it actually caused the center to shift out. So I had to move it back, and it created this ugly bubbling in the corners, right? But if you get it in a jig, you shouldn't have that problem, right? So we'll talk about that at the end. This one is 1.86 inches thick. That's 2 half-inch pieces of acrylic and 2 half-inch pieces of polycarbonate. So you can see it's actually under 2 inches, which it's supposed to be, but so they're just alternating layers there. This one is 1.6 inches thick, and that's 4 pieces of 1/4 inch polycarbonate and 3 pieces of 1/4 inch acrylic, right? So it's just alternating layers. Polycarbonate, acrylic, polycarbonate, acrylic, polycarbonate, acrylic, polycarbonate, right? This one is 1.4 inches thick. It has 2 pieces of 1/4 inch polycarbonate sandwiched with 2 pieces 1/4 inch acrylic, and in the middle 1 piece of 1/2 inch polycarbonate. So They all turned out really nice and clear. This one I didn't apply any clamping pressure during the initial curing, and you can tell because there's air bubbles. So these ones, I changed it and started putting clamping pressure, and they look really well. There is a little bit of delamination, like I said, on that one and this one in that back corner. You can see from putting too much clamping pressure caused too much of that Lexel to go out, and then when I removed the pressure it just started to pull apart pretty much. But yeah, getting this one's the best one out of all of them as far as transparency with no haze. I mean, there's really not haze in any of them, which is nice. But anyways, so that's what we're gonna be testing. Let's head out to the range and shoot them up. I am excited. I'm hoping that the thicker ones will actually stop rifle rounds, and the thinner ones should hopefully stop most handgun caliber rounds. Alright, let's get out there.
Alright, so this is what we're shooting today. This is my SKS chambered in 7.62 by 39. Up next is this bad boy right here, which is...
That is a Henry Golden Boy 44 mag lever action rifle.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then up next is this.
And that is a Vision built AR-15 chambered in 223 5.56.
Right, alright. And then we got over here.
We got the Para 1911, shoots 9mm rounds.
Right. And that we have a few 9s here. And this is
The Taurus PT 101 that shoots 40 caliber rounds.
I have my 38 Special here that is chambered, you know, it's a Charter Arm 38 Special snub nose. Now check these out.
That is a 357 Smith & Wesson, chambered of course in a 357 Magnum round.
Followed by this bad boy here.
Which is a 41, a Smith & Wesson 41 caliber, chambered in a 40.410.
Yeah.
That is used as a, that particular gun is used for hunting. We hunt deer with that. It's got a burriscope on it.
Right. It's super sweet. That's a fun gun to shoot. Now this one is
The tried and true Smith & Wesson 44 mag.
right.
Shooting
Awesome. And then we have two more 9mm down here.
We got the Glock 19 and 9mm, and we have a 6-hour P226 Extreme that shoots a 9mm as well.
Finally, this bad boy right here.
It's just a fairly inexpensive Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun.
Right. And we were lobbing some double-aught buck at it. All right. Alright, so we're out at the range. This is kind of the setup we're doing for the thicker layers of polycarbonate and acrylic. First one up is just the 1.4 inch thick piece. But first I want to test just a 1/4 inch of polycarbonate and a 1/4 inch of acrylic. This was a glue that worked pretty well, but you can see the bubbles and hazing in it. So I just wanted to see if this by itself can stop a 9mm. So let's set that up and give that a shot. There we go.
Get apart.
Yep. But it did in fact stop it on that very back. Barely. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, this was a different glue, but the polycarbonate did stop it. Alright, excellent. So now we'll try the bigger one. Nice. Some pretty significant delamination happening, but no pass-through. Let's take a look at the bulge. Yeah, it didn't even make it to the didn't even make it through the middle one. So let's scale up and shoot it with something a little bit more powerful. And now flash shooting the 40 cal. There you go. Caught the edge. It blew out, but didn't go through the internal layers. It blew out the side, so it hit that acrylic and just skirted out. It actually knocked out the chunk with the 9mm in it. but it still held together. I wasn't able to make it through. All right, now Larry with the 357 Magnum. Just cut that part.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need that one in there.
Nice. Look at that. Woo, boy, I put a hurting, but it did not go through. 357 Magnum. Boy, it put a hurting on it though. That back layer of acrylic starting to shatter. It put a hurting on it. Well, we'll see if 44 will go through. There we go. Blew it, but look, 0 on the back plate. Blew the first plate off.
There it is.
There it is. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's grab that. All right, so this one is 3 layers of acrylic and 4 layers of polycarbonate, 1/4 inch each of them. This is the next thinnest one, and we're going to test this against the 44 Magnum. The last one did so well, so I'm pretty sure this one is going to do just as good. Nice shot. Nice shot. Still off the edge, but yeah, 44 Magnum.
Oh, God.
Yep, huge. Actually, it stopped it.
It's right here.
Holy crap. There it is. So it blew the back plate off, but it did in fact stop it. Look at it. Look at that just nasty mess. That's awesome. There we go. Wait, hold on. Was that buckshot or just normal shot?
No, that was double out buck.
Okay, so this was double. Okay, that makes sense. So, all right, I thought it was a slug.
Okay.
That was my fault. Yeah, so none
it
of
did
those.
stop it.
Yeah, look at that. You can see them in there.
Okay.
It stopped it. Look at that.
So that's why we saw the back.
Right. That's why the 44 Magnum it stopped, but it had, you know, a lot of that back face energy. So yeah, probably one of them slipped through right here, kind of thing. Dang. Where did we hit? Was it here? I don't know where we hit.
I think it was higher. I know we hit, but we have a, oh, I think that wasn't it. That might have been it.
I don't even know if I hit it.
That's hot. Did it really just bounce off? There's no way. That's got to be
Maybe.
hot from the lead inside. I'm not seeing any penetration.
I don't know, let's try it again.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it again. Now that
I got a whole box of 44.
Nice
That
shot.
definitely hit.
Yep. Let's take a look. He's splitting. I don't know.
Oh, that's the back. Where's the front? Yeah, I think that was the first one, and that's the second one. That's not doing as much as the...
The one out of the pistol.
But, I mean, I can see it went through. It went in and it went up.
Yeah, it's probably... They might be skirting out at this point, honestly, because of how bad they've been delaminated.
Yeah, I think it went up and it shot out the top of this.
It had the least resistance.
Yeah.
Because when you
'Cause
look...
we're not seeing anything out the back plate.
But when you look in, you can see it once it hits it, like...
Shoots up. Yeah, it's following the path of least resistance at this point.
Yeah. All right, well, this one's dead.
Well, Jay, we are recording 44 mag.
Put the target down in the lower groove.
All right.
Hit something.
Yeah, hit low, I think. It hit low. Oh, wait, no.
No, you hit it dead center.
Yeah, it's breaking apart. But still, it's probably just skirting out at this point, hitting the jangle mess and coming out the side or something. But, all right, well. Good shot. Good
Nice
shot. It
shot.
did go through. All right, gun's clear. Let's take a look. So this is the 1-inch piece of acrylic. And I saw dirt flying, so Yep, it penetrated. It penetrated. That is just a fast, mean little round. It looked nice though. It's alright. I guess let's step it down with the 44 mag, or actually, you want to shoot it with the 223? Alright, whenever you're ready.
Bottom left. Yeah, skirted right through it.
Alright, we'll step down to the 44 Magnum. Looks like it might have stripped the jacket off though. You can actually kind of see the jackets. You see that a lot with the acrylic, I've noticed. Where hitting that hard surface, it causes the jacket to expand, but the lead still manages to make through because it's got all that energy. So, but yeah. So we did have a pass through again with the 223. So let's step down to the 44. All right, 44 Magnum. Nice shot. Ah, gotta quit doing that. Every time. Look at it. Yeah. There we go. Now what? Now what? Now what? You can even see it stuck in there. Look at that. That looks so cool. Oops, sorry. Sorry, Larry. Look at that.
Oh, it stopped it.
Yeah, stopped it dead, even after being shot twice by rifles. Can we put a few more of the 44?
Yeah. You want to even try maybe the hand cannon on it?
Now we're going to try it again, but this time with a hollow point. Whenever you're ready, bud. Nice shot. Let's take a look. Gun clear. All right. I saw a bunch of stuff shoot out the back, so I assume it did in fact create some significant delamination. Woo! Blew it apart.
Holy!
Yeah, that hollow point, man. That's a vicious hollow point round. Look at that. Just open that sucker up. All right. Now testing against the 4 layers, acrylic and polycarbonate, half and half. See how it does. There.
You see it?
Oh yeah, it's just, it almost went into the woods.
Yeah, I need to raise the dirt up.
There it is. It did still. Woo! Look at that.
Looked like it stopped it.
Yeah, just barely. Ho, ho, ho. But the whole delamination caused the layers to separate, but you can see the lead. It just chewed it up through each subsequent layer going in. Acrylic, then polycarbonate, then acrylic. And on this one, look at how big that energy cone was that came through. That's how big, and look at all the lead. It just ate it up. You can see all the lead there. So this is the closest one to actually stopping a rifle round. It's still pretty impressive. Let's even though its back plate's off, why don't we shoot it with the Magnums? We got the 41 Magnum. We're shooting at the other side of the plate now. Whenever you're ready. Nice shot.
You were pretty dead on about being an inch above it.
Let's take a look. Oh, there it is. But the delamination effect from that first shot was so severe that, yeah, that's where it hit. Look at that. And this, of course, just bounced right off. So
that's where it
yep, hit there. Then. All right. Where did I just put that? Look at that, though. Okay. All right, so now we're back at the shop. I wanted to just briefly go over some things. Now that I'm taking these apart and finding the bullets, I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things. So, first up, this one held together remarkably well. Just wonderfully well. And this might have been one of my favorite ones. It sucks that the two biggest ones weren't capable of stopping rifle rounds, really, except for that one shot from a jacketed hollow point, you know? But it makes sense. I mean, most of the time when people make rifle-rated bullet-resistant glass, they use laminated glass instead of acrylic. I think you could do a combo with some of my earlier designs and this, and might actually stop rifles. So we'll talk about that at the very end. But I also wanted to show you guys this. So I've been cutting away to get it, and there are the magnums. Here, see if I can't just pluck them out. We thought they were skirting out, but they were actually stuck in it. Two here and one deeper in. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I know plenty of you are going to be asking, well, why are you using a soft tip and jacketed hollow points through the magnums? That's actually what the rating system calls for. So the NIJ and the UL rating system test against these. And it makes sense. Most people that have a magnum, whether it's a 357, 41, or a 44, right? They're going to be using it for hunting or to stop someone in their tracks. And when you use full metal jackets with a magnum, it will blow right through the person and probably through a few other people behind it, right? But, you know, a jacketed hollow point or a soft tip, you know, that's actually going to stop in a person and not have full penetration, and you're going to get all that knockdown power from a magnum. So I imagine that's why they test. That's why I was testing. So it's a shame that the rifle ones, you know, I was hoping that they would stop rifles, but like I said, I don't think with this exact method we're going to see rifle stoppage unless we bump it up to a 2.5-inch profile. But another thing I want to mention is the Lexel that I used to bind these together wasn't fully cured on the inside. And I kind of had a suspicion of this, but once I started taking it apart, I could smell it and it was sticky, which is why I think you get such a haze after each subsequent shot, right? And I think that there's a manufacturing thing we can do to change that so it'll actually cure. And I will talk about that in the next spot, which is how I actually made these. So let's get started on that. So first up was testing different thicknesses of both polycarbonate and acrylic with no lamination in between them. I just wanted to see how well they would hold up against like a 45 or a 357 Magnum. That's kind of how I dialed in the various thicknesses. Then it was on to actually seeing which resins would work, because plenty of them that say that they would work because they're optically clear actually will haze polycarbonate or acrylic. So I had to narrow it down to a few, and then I conducted some drop tests on the ones that worked. It was able. One. Hey. One.
And as you can see, not all of them was the most effective. And that's why I settled on Lexel, because in the end Lexel seemed like it held together the best and maintained that clarity the best through the drops. So I bought a bunch of it, cut the polycarbonate and acrylic down to the size that I needed, 6x6, and proceeded to attempt to laminate them together. Now this is the process that I think we could clean up in the whole aspect of it, because I just literally smoothed it on and then clamped it down. But the problem is it's clear that the center wasn't dry after even waiting a whole week after this process. So I think one of the ways that we can effectively change that is to actually apply the Lexel and allow it to breathe for a little bit. But you can see it's a very simple process. So yeah, if you're going to try this, apply the Lexel and give it about 15 to 20 minutes before you apply the clamping pressure, so that way it will start setting up inside of it.
Well, there you have it. It's a very simple process of laminating. I mean, really, you just apply the Lexel and add another layer, clamp it, leave it for a moment, put more Lexel, clamp it. I would actually slow down this process though, because Lexel says it can it's tack free in 30 minutes. So really you get a long time to work with the stuff. I would let it air out so that chemical starts to react more. I would probably do about 10 to 15 minutes before I would apply each layer. So I'd lay them out, apply it on each of them, on one side and then laminate them up and compress them to get all the air bubbles out. And that seems like it'd be a pretty effective way to help minimize the delamination effect that we see during it getting shot, right? And another thing is definitely whatever frame you're going to be using, whether it's for a window, car frame or something, maybe laminate it into an actual frame to help reduce it from splitting like that. But this still was quite effective. I mean, we stopped quite a few shots from a 44 Magnum. We stopped one rifle round, but it was a soft point, you know, and multiple shots from 357 Magnum, 41 Magnum, and 9mm. So, still looking pretty good. But there is ways that we can improve this. I think if we combined our previous attempts with just normal bulletproof glass, with that method and this method, we could stay under that 2-inch profile and possibly stop even more powerful rounds, because glass is harder than acrylic, right? Problem is strength to weight, you know. Even though it's harder, it's actually much heavier. So if you did like a 1-inch thick piece of glass, it'd be quite heavy. But there are other methods that we should also consider. One of which is to get rid of traditional annealed or tempered glass, like safety glass, because that tends to just shatter and you can't get subsequent shots, and we need to be able to stop 3 to 5 depending on the rating system we're going to try to beat. What we could use is laminated glass. Now this stuff is quite expensive, hence why I haven't quite, you know, decided to use it. But if you guys want to see me use it, just so you can see those higher caliber rounds, those more powerful rounds, without adding too much more profile, we could go that route. Another thing is aluminum oxynitride. That stuff is insanely expensive. However, it's the only thing I know of that is rated to actually be able to stop a 50 caliber round under a 3-inch profile. That is wonderful. But I mean, you can buy it. It's just the cost. It's like $10 to $15 per square inch. Yeah. So you can see why I'm kind of limited. It's not really the highest budget YouTuber out there, right? And most of what I make is so you can follow along and do it yourself. And I still think that with this method, I mean, there's other grades. These were both general purpose polycarbonate and acrylic. There are stronger grades of acrylic that actually have a higher impact resistance. And same thing with polycarbonate. So depending on your price range, what kind of caliber you're trying to stop, this is in fact a very effective method. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. We have high density polyethylene coming up soon, curb plate designs, helmet designs, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm really excited to finally, you know, get into a rhythm of uploading more regularly. And sorry that this has been a little bit longer than what I said it would be, but as you can see, there's quite a few tests that I need to get done. So as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.